Okay. Mr. and Miss Haskins, this is your case. You have the burden to prove damages and that Ms. Mott Staria is responsible for those damages. So you may begin. Are you going to be testifying? Are you going to be calling any witnesses, or it's just going to be your own testimony with documentation that I see you possibly have? Do you have copies for Ms. Mott Staria?
Yes, I do.
Okay, excellent. And do you have copies for the court?
Sure do.
Excellent. Okay, you may begin. Who is going to speak first? Ms. Haskins.
We're here because of damages to our property. Ms. Mott continues to frequently go to the property, even after asked not to go there. She was served with a writ of assist. And so we would like money for the damages of the property because we can't take this anymore. And how is it that a writ of assist, how does that not keep her off our property?
Well, that's not a restraining order.
Okay, well, that's what'll be next then.
Okay, so, but because she's not living at the property anymore, correct? She's not there?
Correct.
Okay. And so Ms., do you want to be Mott, Staria?
Mott's fine.
Ms. Mott. Do you agree with any amount of damages?
Your Honor, honestly, any damages that were acquired throughout the 4 years I had lived there, they were not signed over the house up until sometime last year. And there were no damages after the house was signed to them.
And
and so
honestly, if I don't know how it was assigned, and I'll get into that, but let's just say that it was all done properly and legal, like they received it they either purchased it or they got it from an inheritance or something of that nature. All of that passes to the new owners, okay?
Yep.
So 4 years, and so you say there were some damages, but do you stipulate or agree to any amount of damages?
And nothing that they have stated, no.
I know, and I'm asking, do you agree with anything? Do you say, yes, I agree that I damaged a door. The door I agree at least $100. Is there any amount or any damages that you stipulate and agree to?
There was a window in the first year that their son and I were dating that I had broke because he had locked me out of the house. Anyways, that's beside the point. But I had offered to replace it. I offered to replace the glass in it, but then it turned out that the window frame was thrown away, I was told. And so then Jordan had just replaced it with one of the interior windows because there's kind of like a 3 seasons porch. And he told me just not to worry about it. And otherwise, I found a new window for it and I was willing to replace it.
Who's Jordan?
That's my boyfriend. That's who owned the home. I don't know. He signed a quit claim deed.
Okay.
Last year, and
Jordan is your boyfriend.
Correct.
And Jordan is their son.
Correct.
Okay.
And that's the only reason I still go to the house is to see him.
Oh, he still lives there?
Oh yeah, he's lived there the entire time.
So this is making it very confusing and very difficult. It's going to be very difficult for you.
Well, maybe we should enlighten you a little bit because she is not even supposed to be there with him. And it's court ordered by that.
Oh, you have a restraining order. Stop.
Sorry.
You have a restraining order that says she's not to go to the property. The writ of assist doesn't count.
She pretty much claimed that Jordan beat her up. And so he has a thing that they can't even be together. His parole officer says he
Ms.
can't even be
Haskins, so
there.
you can understand, that doesn't help you or your case. That doesn't mean that she can't go to the property. So that's too bad, so sad. He's the one who's risking the criminal prosecution if that's the case. He is. She's not restrained from going to the property. There is nothing legally binding her from not going to the property or going.
I have the paperwork filled out. We will be filing that then.
But and what month?
4.
April?
Yep.
2022. And then with whatever happened, and I don't know, I just recall what happened in the eviction. The eviction was filed November 2022, and she was evicted in December of 2022. Okay. But, so Ms. Mott,
Mhm.
Jordan owned the home in 2019. When did your relationship start?
In 2019 is when we started seeing each other. I don't know the year him and Courtney purchased it. I think he was only there about
I don't care about that. I just want to know.
2 years prior to that. So I'd say 2017 is when he purchased the home. So after about 2 years, that's when I had moved in with him.
In 2019?
Correct.
So he lived in the home in 2019.
Yes.
He owned the home.
Yes.
It was his home.
Yes.
And you moved in with him. Okay. All right. So you moved in with him 2019. And did you have a lease?
No, never.
And when they acquired the property in 2022, April, did you have, I can't recall off the top of my head. Oh, that's right. This was the ejectment because this did not involve a lease.
Yes.
So this was your like, we now own the property. She's the girlfriend. We don't like what's happening there. We want her out of the property. She was ejected from the property
Correct.
because there was not a lease. There was not any
Correct.
rental amount owed. There wasn't a security deposit. There was no decisions or agreements with regards to utilities, anything of that nature. It was simply, you now own the house. You approved Jordan to continue to live at that house, but not Ms. Mott.
Correct.
Correct.
Because it sounds like there's hostility. And I don't know if it's just, I know that they have their issues and that's being handled in court in other matters, but hostility with you and Ms. Mott, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. All right, now we're up to speed. No lease, and this was simply an ejectment, so there was no agreement between you, the Haskins, and Ms. Mott as to anything relating to the property. Correct.
Correct.
All right. So, Ms. Haskins, so tell me why you think Ms. Mott is responsible for any damages.
Because she has her dogs and still there and they're pooping all over the floors. and
Again,
she
you
doesn't
understand, I'm gonna stop you.
No.
You have no authority, nothing over Ms. Mott, okay?
Okay.
None of that. Jordan lives there. Jordan, you have whatever agreement you have with Jordan. Jordan can have the mafia king over if he wishes. Jordan can have a cocaine party and do all of these things if he wishes, unless you say no as landlords, okay? He can do all of the things. He can invite people that you don't care about, you don't like, you don't get along with, his choice. And if you as landlords choose, you don't like that, you can evict Jordan. But right now, I don't see that. She's a guest, okay? Jordan's guest. Okay, so your issue is with Jordan. All right? So why do you think she is responsible for damages?
Because she's the one that did the damage. Because she's the one that did the damage.
Okay, so
And she was living in the house when Jordan got kicked out, when some of the damages occurred.
okay, so let's talk about from April, because that's all you have, okay? You can't go back now though, because now I heard all of the history of these things.
Yep.
You can't go back any further than April, whatever date in April of 2022. What damages occurred from that date up until, not until today? Just what damages are you aware of or do you think that she had caused?
A door.
A door?
3 doors.
And
Yes,
so, okay, so I'm just gonna have you list out what you think she damaged. And then, yeah, Mr.
Can I
Haskins,
speak, please?
you may.
3 doors got pried with a pry bar, broken open, the door jambs are broken right
Here's the
off
thing,
of
don't care about the damage right
Okay.
now. I just want a list of.
3
the
doors, a
door,
window.
Window,
The complete basement was full of dog poop and urine, which to this day you can smell.
it's easy, yes or no?
Can I explain?
No, yes or
Sorry.
no?
No,
So you've never at any time did any type of conduct in any way, shape, or form that would have done any damage, a scrape, a nick, any type of damage to their truck? Yes or no?
see, sorry, it's hard for me to
It
answer.
is not. It's a yes or no.
Well, I'm not trying to lie, but
It sounds like you are.
no, because their son backed up. I was backing up and he cut me off. And so that's
Don't
when I
care about
bumped it. So
explanation.
that's why it's,
Don't care about
I'm not,
explanation.
so then I guess, yes, I guess I'm not really sure because it wasn't intentional and that wasn't ever my main,
Miss Mott,
you know,
zip it. Stop talking.
okay.
Stop trying to outthink me because it's not going to happen.
I'm not, Your Honor,
then
I'm
stop
sorry.
talking. Okay, stop talking. My question is, I will repeat it one more time. At any time, did you intentionally, negligently, recklessly, or in any other way cause damage to their truck?
I guess, yes.
Not a guess.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Do you have pictures of this damage?
Yes, but I couldn't get them out of my phone.
You have had multiple months, 6 months.
I work 80 hours a week to pay for all this stuff. So it's pretty hard for me to get off and just print everything off. I did the best I could.
And I understand that. I do. I understand that this is very stressful and this is causing a lot of emotion. I am going to tell you again right now, your beef is with Jordan.
A lot of it is, Your Honor. I agree.
And if you, haven't seen the quitclaim deed. And I know parents don't like to have contention with their kids or to do anything like that. And it's probably difficult for you. And I don't know the deal or the agreement that you reach with Jordan. But if you have a quitclaim deed that says you own the property, you own the property. And from what I heard at the original hearing back in December, that I recall, and what I am hearing now, Jordan is a big part of all of these issues. You have the right to evict Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you own the property. And it sounds like he's not living up to your expectations. I don't know, because you would still have to go through the process. You'd still have to do that. I'd still have to hear information. We'd still have to determine whether or not this is proper and he can be evicted and if you do all the process. Okay?
We understand that, Your Honor.
But you don't have, it doesn't sound like you have a lease with him either, perhaps. I don't know.
No, he's our son, so he pays us when he can.
Okay, so then that's not even a lease.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that's the whole ejectment part versus an eviction.
Well, the ejectment doesn't work anyway, Your Honor. When you ejected her, it took 6 weeks longer for her to leave, and the police would not do anything.
Well, it shouldn't. You had a writ of assistance.
No,
Posted
I
right
had
on the
to
door.
get a writ of assistance. I had to pay for that extra.
Yeah.
I had to go and have it
But
filed. here.
again, and so you understand, and I don't know if you do landlord stuff
No.
We don't.
often, and now you understand it
It's not a landlord. It's no-
not anymore, but it's your property. And so now you understand you can't just let people live there and willy-nilly and do what they want and walk all over you. You can't do that because in the end, you're the ones who are going to be suffering. And the law, especially with landlord tenant, especially with anything with real estate like this, it protects both sides, as you can see, because people live and they need to live and have homes, but we need to make sure that the landlords aren't being completely taken advantage of and that they're going to get money. So this type of law is very strict. And I'm not trying to be mean, and I'm not trying to say, nope, you're not entitled to that. Do I think that this is a fair situation? I do not. Do I think that Ms. Mott has been, I did not find her credible, not one bit, when I tried to ask that question. If I had to ask it 5 or 6 times like I did, Ms. Mott, I don't find you credible.
Sorry.
I believe you damaged the vehicle. And honestly, I believe you did it intentionally.
I didn't.
And you don't have to talk and speak. What I'm hearing is that you have whatever relationship you have with their son,
Mhm.
but they don't want you at the property. But right now, because you don't have a lease, you don't have authority to say I mean, you do, you can say she can't be there. But right now, I mean, it's just as a father, mother to a son. And it doesn't sound son's listening to you. Doesn't sound like he cares what you think.
He is now.
There's a little bit of that too, Your Honor, yeah. There's some coercion on the other side of that too, that
Well,
that
yeah,
person knows that they can get away with that.
that goes with, that's a girlfriend, boyfriend
No,
type of relationship. I don't know what it is, because I don't want to get into that too
You don't
much,
have to,
because
Your Honor.
especially if there's open criminal cases,
That-
I don't want to find
yeah.
out anything about
Yeah.
that. But I need to know what you, like, I believe she damaged your truck. I truly do believe that. That's a different case. That's not even this case.
Right.
That's you can forget about that, because that's not a landlord tenant issue. That's not an ejectment issue. That's a different small claims issue where you can gather all your other information and you can file a different action. Because I'm not even going to hear about that anymore. Okay? Can happen later when you have pictures, you have an estimate,
Yep.
you do stuff. But right now, that's not a real property issue. Let's talk about the real property. Let's talk about the house and the damage and what you can prove and show is or is not her responsibility. Okay?
Yep.
So we have doors. She admitted to, I believe, 1 door and 1 window. And do you see these people over here who have been trying and who for, again, whatever reason, took over this house for their son, for whatever reason. And they're stuck with the bill, because they will with Jordan too. They're going to be stuck with the bill. Don't know for sure. I'm just telling you that's what my gut's saying. So they're the ones who are going to be stuck with the bill. Do you think that's right, Miss Mott?
No.
So what do you think you could do about it?
Offer to help. That's
I'm not, they don't care about your work. They don't care about your trying to fix a door or clean a basement. But it's not offering to help. It's sending them money, taking care of it, not having communication, not saying, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Haskins, now, how much money do you think? Or would $100, can I pay you this? They don't want to talk to you, okay? They don't want to talk to you. But what you can do, if you care or for any bit at all for Jordan, because it sounds like you're in a long-term relationship, if you want to, because right now you're a wedge between him and his family.
Mhm.
That's a terrible burden to bear.
Trust me, I know.
So perhaps you need to rethink things, rethink your ethics, rethink your morals, and perhaps you need to do things without getting them involved personally. You make an extra $50, you don't need to get your hair cut. You don't need to buy those jeans. Send them $50. And you know what? Over a period of time, maybe that anger, that frustration, that disappointment in not only you and Jordan, but you have caused disappointment and you have caused somebody to lose faith in the justice system. And that's not right. That is terrible, because that is what our country is founded upon. Justice. I have to follow the law. I have to be, and it's unfortunate, but I can't order something where there's not evidence to prove. So